Hey, what's going on, guys? Mining King here. So, just do another video log today. Haven't got to the some projects. It's been kind of a busy week. Okay, so we're just gonna step outside here. It's a little foggy out here in Missouri, but you can see behind me I got some. Those are my new four-wheeler tires I had to get. I've been waiting for it. It took like a week, so I don't really like the power sports place near me. They never call me, and their customer service sucks, but I don't have any other choice. So insulating the heck out of the shop here, as you can see. So a lot more of the shop's been done. Get a lot more done. We are going to have to redo all this tape. This foil tape isn't working out because of the cold weather. It's kind of coming up. You can see it's getting loose here and things like that. So we got some different tape that we're going to give it a try. But yeah, so far in the front half, the only thing we have to do is finish up the 1, 2, 3 sections here and 2 sections right here, and then this little bit in the front. Now the door, I'm gonna have to I can't go over the purlins, so we've been attaching the foam boards to the purlins, right, to make sure that there's an air gap. This way we don't trap moisture. But on the door here, I'm gonna use construction adhesive and go in between the purlins, so it's going to be a 1-inch foam board just right here on the door, because it won't be able to shut and close if I put 2 inches on the purlins. As you can see here, this is the four-wheeler. I gotta get the wheels back on it so we can get out of the shop today, and then we need to get the boat out so we can start working in the back half of the building here. So we got to get the boat out today. We just got a bunch of rain yesterday. It's not supposed to rain until Monday, so that's good. So these shelves will be coming down right here, so this way we could get the get more foam in here. This shit's got to go outside. We still got the Z15 humming along here. Hey, if anybody wants that Z15, man, it's a kind of a Frankenstein. It has 2 regular Z15 boards and a J board in it, so it does like 380 case hole. It's yours, $2,500. So we recently got a new miner in here, and it's a L7. I bought this L7 from Desert Miner, which this was hosted at my previous company, Terra Hosting. So let's take a look here and let's see like how good the machine looks. And it actually looks pretty good, you know what I mean? There is some dirt, not like anything out of the ordinary, and it is relatively clean, right? And I even took out one of the hash boards so you guys can see. I'll put it down here on the table, but try to get it so you get some light. Let me get the see if we can't get another light on here. But yeah, you can see that it's not too dirty. The fins aren't all gummed up, so they did a pretty good job. You can see the front of the machine. It looks pretty clean, right? So I'm gonna give these guys a good solid, A-, B+ for their shipping their machines back to clients. So it is kind of nice to see that Terra's still trying to keep that standard there. Now, I do have an idea for all of you guys out there, and it is going to cost me some money, but it's a great segment that nobody's ever done, that nobody's ever ventured out and try to do, you know what I mean? And everybody's always, you know, oh yeah, you know, we're host this guy over here, go with these hosting companies over here, because they're all just ads, right? They're all just, you know, everybody's getting paid to run ads for hosting companies, you know. So this is what I'm gonna do. Since I'm a freelancer now, you know, my thing is why don't we do some secret shopper stuff? You like my idea? Let's see exactly how the correspondence goes with all these companies, right? I'm gonna pick 5 companies well, 4 companies at random, and then I'm gonna test my own previous company, and I'm not gonna use my real name. I won't show the names that I'm using in the videos. I'll keep everybody, you know, black tagged out, but we'll just see who we're corresponding with in the email process. We'll see how customer service is. I might even like purposely break stuff. I might even like maybe purposely break a fan or a control board on a miner, and just see how they treat me as a client, right? See what kind of customer service they offer me. See how the hosting experience is. Are there really all these hidden fees in all these places? Maybe there is, maybe there's not. So we don't know, right? Nobody's ever recorded their experience through all these different hosting companies. So it's something that I'm going to venture out into. I got to think about what ASIC I'm going to use. I'd like it to stay profitable, right, during this, you know, downward trend we're kind of going into and where I think the market's going to go. So I need something that's going to, you know, keep running and at least pay its own electric, while also being able to provide some good content, right? So I have a few ideas in mind. Obviously, the L9 is kind of at the top of the list here. But I'm looking at other options as well. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think down below about that. A secret shopper experience for ASIC hosting. I think it's cool. Maybe I'm crazy, but, you know, nobody's ever done it, right? Nobody. So let's go back in here and we're going to go over a couple things. So I've been really busy this week and we haven't got this guy hooked up yet. I'm going to do that. So I've been really busy this week and I haven't got this guy hooked up. We are going to get him hooked up. I'm going to work on that maybe this weekend. I like to get him hooked up. Just been really busy. And then my idea for the L7. Jared, why are you buying L7s? They're starting to be like the L3 pluses right now, right? Well, I have maybe not a secret to my madness, but my madness is this, okay? My madness is I've heard that you can get the L7 down to close to L9 efficiency. And I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm gonna take a journey. I'm gonna do a bunch of tuning, overclocking, undervolting, and we're gonna see how efficient can we get this L7. Because if you buy these in bulk, you can get them for very cheap. Like if you buy 50 or 100 machines, you can get them very cheap, which if they can get near L9 efficiency, it will make sense to buy them in bulk. You know what I mean? If you can get a good hosting rate, right? So, kind of my thought process here. So I'm like, hey, let's buy one and let's try it out. Let's just see how it goes. So, we got Venus on this L7 that I got from Desert, so it's already got Venus on it. So yeah, we're gonna mess around with this, and I'll let you guys know exactly how it goes with this ASIC here, right? But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here. I guess also update. I think it's somewhere where I could like set this camera down. Keep holding it. My arm's getting tired. Hold this thing in the air. Okay. So See if we can't find here we go. Here's a ladder. We could shove this thing on. All right. So a little update about the, I was looking for big power. I thought I found it. I found some power. It's just going to take a lot of work. And their rate there is not that great. And I think I need a megawatt to qualify for the large power service, which they don't currently have that there. So that means I'm going to have to run lines and buy a transformer. And I'm just not currently sure what I can get from the utility company, if there's even availability on that line for them. I have a ticket in for construction to get me those bids, but at the same time, this isn't my property, and I don't know what it's going to cost me, right? And why would I do improvements on someone else's property, you know? So I need to get a hold of White River again because they're super slow. They haven't got back to me about my plans here on my, street where I live. I don't have building restrictions where I live, so I essentially could just do whatever the heck I want and not even give a crap. So they haven't got back to me about the quote to run 3-phase from the highway to my house, which is about a half a mile. I know that if I want to keep it short like that, I have to talk to my neighbors about an easement. So, that's another challenge in itself, is talking to the neighbors to make sure I can, use their property for an easement. Then I have another choice to go back to a different facility that I'm very familiar with, but the rates kind of increased, and we're sitting at around like 8 cents, 8.2 cents, and I think that's just too high. I think that's just too high for going into the we're going in this downward trend, and I think that the bear market is getting close, and you don't want to be at 8 cents then. You want to be at like 6 cents. And then at 6 cents, I still think you may even need to curtail, right? I think everybody looks at curtailment as a really bad thing. And even I did in the beginning, right? So I think that in the United States where we are, where power is expensive, I think you have to curtail to get really cheap power if you want to get down to 4 or 3 cents. And that doesn't mean you curtail all the time, but you have to curtail sometimes. And I think that helps increase your profitability in your mining farm. And I think curtailment has kind of a bad stigma. So yeah, looking at curtailing as well. The one site that I could go back to is about a 1/4 megawatt. And it's already ready to go. It wouldn't cost me anything other than electric for 2 months, and then buying miners. But then I'm stuck at a rate that I don't want to be at, and I'm not sure any of the companies like Voltus will offer curtailment on a 1/4 meg, right? I've reached out and I haven't heard back from them yet. So I'm still looking for power. Still out there searching for a place. And then the last thing that I kind of thought about was, instead of doing ASIC mining, I could do more AI, right? Because they are going to run fiber here, and it's supposed to be here within the next few months. I could hold off, wait for the fiber to come in to make sure it does come in, and then I could increase my house maybe even up to 800 amps out here in the shop and pay the extra, and then just run a bunch of AI equipment out of my shop here and kind of double down more on the AI side than the crypto mining side per se. That is something I am looking at. I do already have 4 8-card 4090 rigs that I've spent a lot of money on, and they're doing good. I'm not happy with them. I just don't like to be laser focused all on one thing sometimes. So I haven't quite made up my mind what I'm going to do yet, but I'm still in the search for power and stuff like that. So that's kind of the update on the power situation and futurability here. I haven't even made a decision on this place yet. So kind of an update on my power situation here at my place is I'll give you guys an update about my power situation, about doing the power on my shop, and we ran into a big problem. So I have a 200 amp panel out here in my shop, and then I have a 200 amp panel for my house. Both of these 200 amps are going to a meter head out on the street, right? That meter head is only a 200 amp meter head. They spliced this shop in. So technically, when I'm out here running a bunch of ASICs in charge of my Tesla, and then I'm doing stuff in my house, I am literally riding that 80% rule. And I didn't know that. And the electrician assumed that it was 400 amp meter head, but it's not. And we heard back from the electrical engineer from White River, and he said that that's a 200 amp meter head at the post. So I have big problems. One is we could, there's a blank post out there, and I could split the services, right? And then I could get a commercial line there, but it's not really any cheaper for regular commercial. It's just going to be on a separate account, so it'll be easy to track, you know, for commercial purposes, for businesses, you know what I mean? So that's going to cost me to keep it 200 amps and 200 amps and buy a 200 amp meter head and switch it is $5,000. I could keep it I could keep it exactly the way it is, swap out the meter head and make it a 400 amp meter head, and this way I truly do have 200 and 200. That's 10,000. Or I keep the house at 200 and I give the shop a true 400 amps, so that would be 600 amps total, but that's $24,000. So I have a lot to think about, because it's been about a week since the company gave me a price, or my quotes, and you know, it's a lot of money, you know what I mean, and you want to make sure you make the right decision, and you know, like once you do it, you can't go back, and it just, you know, you want to make sure you do all the scenarios in your head, and it's just like, you know, how much do I plan to really run for my shop? Am I going to do the AI thing in here? Am I not? Because if I'm not, then, you know, having true 200 amps here is kind of okay with me, you know. Yeah, I'd like to have 400 to more to play around, but the rate here isn't that great either. So, you know, that's the other choice. And then there's always the thing is like, okay, or what if they let me run the 3-phase here? Okay, well, the 3-phase is going to cost me anywhere from 50 to 100 grand to run the 3-phase lines to my house, and then I have to buy a transformer and then set up the container, right? So you're looking at like probably like a 250K at least to get that going, if not like 300K, which, you know, that's in my budget, but then, you know, you have to think about, you know, how long is this going to take? You know what I mean? It's probably not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? This build for this electrical company to build this out is probably going to take me a year, you know? So that's something else I have to consider is their lead times. Like I'm not priority number one, and they're not going to get this done for me right away. You know what I mean? There's probably going to be a 6 to 12 month lead time. If not, maybe even longer. I don't even know. So, yep, it's a lot of decisions going on, lots of what ifs right now. So just kind of an update. The power situation is still unknown at this point. So yeah, be sure to comment down below what you guys think about everything, and then let me know, do you think we can get this L7 down to like around the L9 efficiency? because that would just be boss. That would really keep up the profitability and extend the life of these machines. So, all right, guys, this is Monty King giving you the most hashes, and I'll see you next time.